The Western film genre has always been one of the quintessential American film genres, exploding onto the scene with the likes of John Ford's 1939 Stagecoach, and remaining one of America's most popular kind of films until the genre's decline in the 1960s. The Western has gone through several stages of evolution, but today remains one of the least popular Hollywood film genres. The Western saw a minor revival in popularity in 2010, but not with a movie, rather with Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption video game, which sought successfully to transport players back in time to the days of gunfighters and cowboys. The game's 2018 sequel, or rather prequel, Red Dead Redemption 2, was released to even more acclaim than its predecessor, and has inspired a new generation to don their cowboy hats and strap on their gun holsters. If you enjoyed the Red Dead Redemption games, here are 10 westerns you'll probably end up loving. Number 1. Once Upon a Time in the West. Sergio Leone's grand sweeping film might be why the word epic was invented, but at its heart, it tells an intimate small-scale story of revenge and love. One of the major themes of the film, much like both Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2, is the death of the classic American frontier, the death of the Western, and the transition of the West from gunfights and shootouts to an industrialist modern world of business and locomotives. Number 2. The Shootist. Don Siegel's drama was the final Western, and final film, full stop, of the archetype Western hero, John Wayne. The Duke's swan song involved his character, a dying man, looking to find a dignified way to end his life. One of the great Hollywood myths says that John Wayne himself was dying of lung cancer during the filming of The Shootist. In Red Dead Redemption 2, gunslinger Arthur Morgan is diagnosed with tuberculosis and subsequently spends the remainder of his life coming to terms with what kind of man he is and his fear of dying. He seeks meaning and redemption in the final stage of his life. Number 3. The Wild Bunch. Sam Peckinpah's 1969 film came at a time in which Hollywood was experiencing major changes. Increases in depictions of sex and violence in studio pictures occurred, and a new kind of Western, the revisionist Western, was born, which bore farewell to the classic movies featuring the hero cowboy who saves the day. These kind of Westerns were far more brutal and gritty, and The Wild Bunch is no exception, featuring a group of veteran outlaws on their last legs as they are pursued by their former gang member turned lawman. The film is most famous for the hyper-violent, blood-splattered final gun battle. The principal plot may have been a significant influence on Red Dead Redemption's story of John Marston hunting down the remaining members of the gang he used to be a part of, and quite possibly may have served as an inspiration for the gang itself of the second game. Number 4. Deadwood. Hey, who said it had to be just movies? HBO's show gives you an opportunity to revel in a collection of complex and endearing group of characters. Even the charismatic but brutal saloon owner Al Swearingen. Deadwood's famously witty and Shakespearean dialogue is enormous fun to watch, in a show which charts a small lawless town's evolution to annexation. Memories of Red Dead's Thieves' Landing comes to mind when you are entering Deadwood, as do many of the stranger missions and random events that occur in the game, often involving stagecoaches that may have been mysteriously ravaged, or oddball gold prospectors asking you for a favour, which harks back to countless Deadwood scenes. Number 5. Django Unchained. Quentin Tarantino's ferociously entertaining Western was the Western fanatic's first work in the genre. Pitting a former slave and dentist turned bounty hunter against a plantation owner, Django Unchained contains a wide variety of typically colourful characters and typically colourful dialogue. The over-the-top and blood splatter during the film's 2 Candyland shootouts is reminiscent of the blood-soaked gun battles Red Dead players will have found themselves in on numerous occasions. Number 6. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. As well as having a train robbery scene directly lifted from the film, Red Dead Redemption 2 deals with gang members such as John Marston and Arthur Morgan and their disillusionment with their charismatic leader Dutch Vanderlyn, coming to terms with the fact that their great leader might not be the righteous source of wisdom he presents himself as. Similarly, The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford follows a young gang member, Robert Ford, discovering how far the legendary outlaw Jesse James's mythic image and persona is to his real-life character. Number 7. They Call Me Trinity. Westerns are often violent and sinister, taking place in a world where life is of little value and death is just around the corner. But westerns can also be laugh-out-loud hilarious. They Call Me Trinity was the first pairing of classic comedy duo Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, and contains slapstick humour, literally, and one-liners galore. The Red Dead games, whilst far more serious than Rockstar's other franchise, Grand Theft Auto, contains their fair share of wacky humour, such as a fan-favourite mission in Red Dead 2 where a drunk Arthur searches a saloon for his missing drinking partner, Lenny. Number 8. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. No Western list is complete without an entry from Sergio Leone's magnificent Dollars trilogy, a set of films that breathed life into a dying genre and kick-started the spaghetti western. Iconic is the word that comes to mind with The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, jam-packed with anything you could want from a western: treasure hunts, showdowns, gunfights and Ennio Morricone. There is so much that the Red Dead games borrow from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, so many things that are inspired by Leone's films. Clint Eastwood's classic poncho is even an unlockable outfit in Red Dead Redemption. Number 9. The Great Silence. Sergio Corbucci, director of the original classic Django, gave us one of the all-time great spaghetti westerns with The Great Silence. Set in the gorgeous snowbound mountains of Utah, which may have influenced the beautiful snowy opening of Red Dead Redemption 2, The Great Silence delivers a knockout slap in the face of an ending in which the good guys and numerous innocents are gunned down and mercilessly killed. In addition to this, in a sick, twisted irony, the murders are justified by the law, and the film shows us that the right path is not always on the side of the law. Red Dead Redemption offers a similarly shocking ending when John Marston is gunned down by the law, a reprehensible and vicious act, but one justified by the law given his past in crime. And finally, at number 10, Clint Eastwood's final western, Unforgiven. Eastwood's masterful deconstruction of the Wild West tears away at the mythical aspects of the genre, as the weight of killing women, children, and in his own words, everything that walks or crawled at one time or another, dawns on Clint Eastwood's aged gunslinger. Notions of honour attached to violence are done away with, and the film is void of heroics. One of the very special qualities of the Red Dead Redemption games is their ambition in being more than simply a GTA with horses. The games often concern themselves with humanity, morality, and the self-destructive nature of a violent lifestyle. Much like Eastwood's William Money, John Marston is tired of the gunslinger lifestyle by the time he's put to work in Red Dead 1 in order to ensure the release and reunion of his wife and son. So there you have it. Are there any other westerns you feel should be on the list? Let me know in the comments below. For more videos and similar content, consider subscribing to the channel, and thanks for watching.